bringing to you another bike check. I think the people want to know. Oh, crazy. Chef kiss.
Too much sauce.
Is that okay? Yeah, that was sick. Can I just hold it?
Yeah, just hold it.
Okay, thank God.
Remember just to talk to the tripod.
Okay, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, it's the 801. Skirt Reynolds, my wife is calling me. Skirt Reynolds, 801, Fohead Gang. I wanted to do another bike check. I did that one recently of the Master Bike Co. I enjoy showing off these cool, weird, obscure bikes, and I think you guys need to see this one as well. It's actually been in my garage for like 5 years, but I just decided to start riding it again, and it's sensational this time. Starting off with the frame, it's a 2012 BB17 Serpent frame, 700C frame. They do track frames now, but at this particular time in fixed gear history, they were doing fixed gear freestyle, and they fostered this cool build. It's the first 700C frame with a negative bottom bracket, so you could technically put pegs or do no pegs and do a double peg grind down a rail if you wanted. I probably won't ever run pegs on this just because I don't want to break it. I don't want to bend the frame or anything. I want to keep this build alive for as long as I can.
Oh my God.
Oscar Kahn rode this, as well as Soil Thornton. You know, there's a bunch of notable shredders that really have put in work. Big names that have ridden this sort of setup. Shout out those shredders from the past, those OGs. And I'm just lucky to have gotten my hands on one of these bad boys. It's a cool frame from a neat era in fixed gear freestyle. I'm ecstatic to have this one. I actually got it from a homie on Instagram, Extra Whipped Cream. Shout out my guy. Up front, I've got some Rough Bike Co. 6.5 GC bars. These are the only bars I'll run. Best in the game if you didn't know. No, but seriously, thank you Rough Bike Co. They always support me, they're super kind, and they hook me up immensely, and I appreciate them. For grips, I run S&M Mike Hoder grips. They're super squishy, off of the wall. They're my favorite grips. There's literally no break-in time. They don't last the longest, but they're certainly my favorite grips right now. I sling bars really well with them, and then also it makes this like satisfying like slappy sound when you like really throw it just right. For my bar ends, I have Arbach BMX bar ends from Matt Behringer here in Salt Lake. He's a BMX legend. He makes these dope things. They're indestructible, and they've lasted me many, many years. And I'm sure they've saved me countless times, man. I'm serious. Don't get impaled by your handlebars. It's not cool. Profile 1 1/8 top load stem. I got that from the Woodshop BMX. Shout out Cam Wood. He's got the goods on deck for all the local BMX shred. Stop by if you need something cool. Underneath that is a 1 1/8 headset, just kind of a random headset spacer to make this fork work. The fork is an Anthem Bike Company fork. I don't know what years they were around, but they briefly sponsored Miguel Zendejas and myself and a couple other guys. Steven Jensen was on there too, actually. Who else? I can't think of anyone, but it was a weird little brief blip of time. And so I actually had that fork still, and I realized the other day that even though it's 26-inch specific, I measured it out and it would actually work with this 700C wheel, which by the way is an 1/8-inch Bueller, 29-inch setup, 700C, same thing. It's got the 700 by 45C tire, so definitely not the biggest 700C, but it's the biggest that this fork could facilitate. The clearance is like a 1/16 of an inch. It's really, really tight. Moving backward, I've got the drivetrain. My ratio is 26:10. I've got the 48 splined demolition cranks in 165 millimeters with the Shadow Conspiracy pedals. My straps, I run Velocity straps, a company that was local to Salt Lake that is not around, but shout out Nathan. I appreciate him, he's the dude. His goods, his materials have lasted the test of time. Straps are hard to come by these days, honestly, unless you're hitting up Adam, ATW, keep your eyes open, he's dropping stuff. My sprocket is a 26 tooth tree sprocket, also 48 spline setup. I tried a couple different gear ratios on this. 25-10 made it feel like a clown bike. 2710, I was like struggling to pedal, I felt like. 2610 is my favorite by far. The rear wheel is actually just a custom wheel. I've got the same tire, the 700C by 45 bomb track in tan. Both of them are pretty darn old. They're not crumbly yet. They're definitely good for skidding around. They're starting to harden a little bit.
Oops.
29-inch rim, an MTX 33, just a 3-cross pattern. That is hooked up to the 10-tooth driver, the micro drive, baby. It's actually a P-Fix hub that I stole from a spare wheel set. I know that sounds absurd. I have a spare P-Fix wheel set, or 2 or 3, and I literally just cannibalized the hub, needed it, and had Weston of Mass Destruction, shout out, he you know, laced it up really, really nicely for me. It's the most solid 29er wheel I've ever had, for sure, no doubt about it. The P-Fix was a brief blip in time where Specialized Bicycle Company had interest in the sport fixed gear freestyle. You know, out of the box 26-inch wheels, fat tires, micro drive hub, like basically a BMX like setup. Like it was so nice out of the box. That was the first real fixed gear freestyle bike that I bought. What else? I think, and my chain, I actually forgot the chain. It's a Shadow Conspiracy 1/8-inch chain. The seat, I have a Shadow Conspiracy pivotal seat with a resist seat post that is all the way slammed. That seat post is 27.2. I would say I'm glad things moved to 26, but this is a pretty fun build.
I am wearing the Birkenstocks. I have no stopping power.
Looking like a 4-wide nerd with these cardio frames. A bow tie rocking diamond chains. Perkin, poking out, got my so hard, see the vein coming out. Probably won't get no star on the sidewalk. White chalk on the sidewalk, and it's my fault. Gucci keep going up, posting all his whereabouts. In these foreign lands, shaking hands he don't care about. I don't give a damn about nothing but the pay amount. I ain't never going broke, all I really care about. Money coming in and out, trapping like it's in and out. Money every minute, I look like a millionaire. Big player sitting at the end in the ball chair. Showing loose ends, get you caught up in the crossfire. Looking back, I was in the pen, high and bar wide, and I ain't try to blend, I'ma stand up tall guy. Testing, Gucci flexing, let me see.
Thank you for tuning in. I hope I can help you, build something cool for yourself. If you have any questions, drop a comment. If you have concerns, email me. What are you doing? Let's get in touch. Let's figure out your bike problems, your woes. No, I'm just kidding. Don't email me. But seriously, thanks for tuning in. That's my bike check. Have a great day. Be safe.